Hello YouTubers, it's Bob Hickman. I am back here again. Well, here in the Washington area, it's a nice kind of gentle air, coolish sort of night. And I promise you guys we go on a UFO watch. Right now the skies are a little bit overcast, so we probably won't be able to see as clear as we want. We're going to move out of an area. Right now where I am, there's a lot of light. And we're going to see if we can find an area that's a little more, a little darker, where we can get a better view of the sky. So come on along. Well, here I am. I'm outside the U.S. bowling arena here. And I like this area because it sits up kind of high and you can get a really strong panoramic view of the sky. But as you guys can see right now, unfortunately, there's a lot of overcast and there's still a lot of reflected light from the city lights. So it may not be the best night for viewing. But we're going to walk on along and maybe we'll find something. Well guys, we're going to walk down towards the park area where I like to do a lot of my watch. We'll see if we get better results there. You know, sometimes when you're out and you're trying to find a place to watch for UFOs, you want to kind of keep in mind a few factors. One, you want to kind of be in an area where it's a little more isolated, so there's less lights, less cars, less distractions. And you want to try to, get as high up as you can, because the more you're, free to see the sky, the better results you'll get. Sometimes, especially like people like me, we live in the city and we're a little challenged because, we have high buildings and high trees. So, anyways, coming up to an intersection here, so I'll finish this in a little. As you can see, I'm now getting over towards the park area. You can hear it's a little quieter. You don't have any buildings here, a lot less traffic. So we're gonna stroll through here, and we're gonna get to a clearing area where we can do some observation. Now, as you can see, we're at a very open field here. This is the beginning of the park, and we have the treetops, as you can see there. But the sky is very expansive and very open. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of cloud cover. But don't let cloud cover make you give up searching, because you see, sometimes people see UFOs come out of the clouds, and sometimes they're very low flying. I've heard many people have seen them literally above the treetops. And this is a great area because, as you can see, we have the treetops here. Still seems to be a little bit of light here in the sky. That's some city glow. Many people have reported that if they are in a kind of a meditative state, that they have better success sometimes in seeing UFOs. It's believed that the aliens are very telepathic and that we can literally call them to ourselves. Anyways, I'm sitting out here in the park, and it's very quiet now and a lot more peaceful. So I'm going to scan the skies, see if I initially see anything. One of the things that you want to do is kind of get a sense of the location where you are, know the flight patterns. For example, I know that if I look down this way, this is the airport direction, and planes tend to circle from that way up and they follow the path down. So if we see lights going that direction, we can be a little more discerning in that it may be an airplane, but not necessarily. But knowing kind of the general flight patterns of your area will help you in your search. Now, what's interesting is if you, like for example, as I said, the planes go from this direction down that way. If suddenly I see a light from way over on this other area going up and going down, then we may have something. Like for example, right now there's a plane, I just saw it, passing up through the clouds. It's very interesting because it's lit up and it's flashing with the clouds. Looks a little different. But we know that that's just a plane because it's going down that pathway and it will circle back around. Depending on the weather patterns, sometimes they change their course slightly. Unfortunately, that was not a UFO, but it did have kind of a strange appearance to it. Now you can see off in the distance there's another plane that's heading in towards the airport. So again, not a UFO. And because I know the flight patterns, it makes it a lot quicker to make an evaluation. Now also in the distance, you'll see these are city lights, so those are not UFOs. But once you get to know your area, you want to kind of get familiar. Try to go to the same place for a little while so you know the flight patterns, you know the lay of the land, you know what the lights are in the area. Sometimes, people will be out and they'll say, I see a UFO, and really it's just a tower light. But because they don't know the area, they think it's strange. They said it's a stationary light. Not everything is a UFO. Or at least I should say not everything that's a UFO is necessarily an alien craft. But you never know. Here we are, we're coming up upon the footbridge here. I like this bridge because it gets out and you get a clear vista of the sky. So I'm going to walk down this footbridge into the darkness. And we'll see what's down here. So come on along. Make sure when you go on your walks that you bring cameras with you, extra batteries, things like that. That's all important. And if you can bring a friend along, that's even better. Tonight my friend Avril was going to come, but she got tied up, so I'm out on my own. But it's nice to have a witness because sometimes when you see something, it's good to get a confirmation. Now here's a light coming that caught my eye. I don't know if you guys can see it now. It went behind a cloud. But this light was moving rather rapidly. But as I look at it, I can tell that it's an airplane. And it's following the normal trajectory of a plane coming in for landing. It's going to circle around. What's interesting is a lot of people nowadays who are seeing UFOs and also having close encounters with UFOs are saying that the UFOs try to mimic airplanes so they can be more open and not be noticed. So even airplanes deserve a second look at. I think one of the things that's most important if you're going to do a UFO watch is that you be patient. I've heard a lot of cases where people would sit out for an hour looking for stuff, and then when they're about to give up, say, well, I've waited a whole hour. That's when it happens. They see something. Now, it's also good to kind of study UFO history and learn where the most sightings occur. What are the areas, I should say, that are the most active? Alexandria, believe it or not, actually does have a pretty active history of UFOs. Now, it's not published here and it's really swept under the rug, but if you do research on MUFON or the National UFO Database, I'll put links below to those, you'll find out what areas of the country are active. And interestingly, Alexandria has had a number of very distinct and profound sightings. So I'm lucky to be here in Alexandria. It's Alexandria, Virginia. And, I keep watching. As I've told you guys in the past, I have actually seen UFOs. And my friend Avril has seen them and even got them on film. And I did a video showing her sightings. So, anyways, I'll put that link below too. You might want to see that. But I have seen UFOs, interestingly, in broad daylight. And also at night, so you can see them at either time. I like to go out at night, though, simply because sometimes the phenomena is easier to see. It seems that many of the ships have a very distinct illumination, and when you see one, you'll never forget it. A lot of times they glow like an orangish color. Many people see them as like a long, kind of a cigar-shaped orange-colored craft. I've heard of people seeing the discs, like the little saucers. They tend to glow a bluish white, and they usually travel in formation. There's also the giant triangles that are seen. Now, some people speculate that our stealth technology is actually alien technology. And I got to tell you, when I look at the stealth bombers, they certainly look a lot like the UFOs that have been spotted. Now, of course, the UFOs that are the triangles tend to be much larger. They're like, some of them are like a mile in length on each side. So, one of the things you want to kind of get a sense of is what is the size of the object that you're seeing. Kind of try to get a sense of, what size it would be. There are ways to calculate it, and I'll have to do another video on that. But you can do scientific calculation to figure out kind of what the size of the object is. So you want to figure out what the pattern is, what the size is, what direction it's going. Where did you see it first? Where did it go after you saw it? You also want to kind of look at the UFOs and say, are they connecting with me? It's very interesting because many people who have seen the UFOs have said that literally they would call out to the ship that might be a mile high and it would stop and acknowledge them and sometimes come close to them. So, you could draw yourself into a close encounter. Proceed with caution, of course. Anyways, I'm going to take a look around here. We'll see if we see anything out of the normal. So come on along. Well, guys, I'm closely monitoring the skies. Not seeing much. A lot of cloud cover tonight, so that's affecting our viewing. But we're going to keep watching, and maybe we'll see something, and it'd be great to get it on camera. I regret back when I had my UFO encounters, I didn't have a camera back then. It was before my YouTube days. I think, wow, I missed a lot of good stuff. Anyways, we're going to keep watching. Sometimes when you're striking out, not having much luck, it's time to kind of reassess and decide, well, do you want to try a new location? So I thought we'd walk down to another part of the park. And, sometimes when you walk along, you find an open area of sky, too. The clouds may have a break. So we're going to walk on down here, It's very fascinating because if you study the reports of the UFO phenomena, I would say probably in the last 10 years, there have been a remarkable increase in the number of sightings that are being reported. Now, of course, some of that may just be that people are more aware now, and with modern technology and cameras, people are able to capture the phenomena. But I like to think there's something else also behind those statistics. I think that we are being visited more and more, and I do believe that the alien presences are becoming a little more bold and making themselves more known. The truth is, I believe that they've actually been visiting us for thousands of years. And for those of you who saw my Hathors video, the Hathors have been traced and linked with ancient Egypt and even possibly Atlantis. Wonderful thing is that it seems like the aliens that are visiting our Earth, they seem to be pretty intelligent. A lot of wisdom. I think they're trying to save us from ourselves. In this time of nuclear war and dangers, they're watching closely. I think they want to preserve the Earth. We all are really interconnected. A lot of people are terrified at the thought that there could be alien presences visiting the Earth. I've never understood that. Why should we be terrified? I mean, is the universe not so big that it could not have other life? Who are we to say we're the only life in the universe? I know some people like to quote the Bible or the Torah or different spiritual books. But I've never seen anything, at least in the Bible, that said that there is no other life or that it's a sin to think there's other life. All I know is it said that God, the divine, created all that is. So if there are other creatures, I think they're children of God as well. And maybe, just maybe, they might actually want to be our friends. I'm open to it. Who couldn't use another friend, huh? Okay, guys, well, here we are. This is another area clearing. Step back, you can see it. It's an embankment. It goes down, and over there it's kind of dark. There's water down here. This is a nice open area as well. Unfortunately, it looks like there are actually more clouds over in this part of the sky tonight than where we were before. But I like to come over here because it's also just a kind of a different place to watch the skies. This is very close to where I actually had one of my early UFO encounters. And I saw a silver sphere up in the sky. And what's interesting is I didn't even know those were a type of UFO until I researched it. But I saw it in the sky in this area, and it was just a giant silver ball, probably about 10 feet in diameter, floating in the sky, motionless and silent. Those lights that you see are house lights on the other side of the river. You can hear the waterfall running down the way, but you can't see it tonight. So let us watch. One of the things you might want to also do when you're out and watching the sky is get a star map. I actually need to do that. I used to do that. And learn the constellations. While you watch for UFOs, you can get to know the seasons and the times of the sky. And you'll know when a certain star is supposed to be located somewhere in the sky, and that will help you to get a better sense of direction and where you are kind of in the universe. I'm not having much luck tonight. Some nights it's like that, it's hit or miss. But that's all right. You know what? The wonderful thing is that I got out tonight. I got reacquainted with the areas where I've had phenomena. And I know that I can come back here. So you guys, you might want to try this. Start a weekly UFO watch in your area. Maybe you could do some videos and show me kind of what you found and what you see. I think that would be fascinating. Well, I thought there was a break here in the this railing. Seems to be going all the way down the street. So I guess I'm going to just have to climb over it. Whew, I'm not as young as I used to be. But anyways, we're getting back into the urban sprawl. I much prefer the park. Anyways, didn't see anything out of the norm tonight, but I am sure glad that I went out, and I'm sure glad that you guys came along with me, and I hope that you'll be coming along with me whenever I do my UFO walks. It'd be great to have you there, and if you do your own, I would sure love to see it. So maybe you guys can tell me kind of in the box below about your experiences with UFOs. I love to hear people's encounters and stories and what's happened. And, if you want to start doing a UFO watch, let me know that too so I can be watching for it. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. It's so good to be with you. Keep it here at Spirit Channel. We'll have more coming in the coming days. This week we'll have messages from the spirit world, and I'm sure looking forward to it. Thanks for being here. Blessings to you all, and let's keep watching the skies.